the big changes.
Exactly. Yesterday's class, we talked about big changes. Of course, we studied some important vocabulary words. Do you remember the vocabulary words we studied yesterday? Could you please remind me the key words that we studied yesterday? As you remember, yesterday class, we were studying some important words. Let's remember them. These vocabulary words were all about stages of life. What vocabulary words did we study yesterday? Look at this. Be born. What other words did we study? Buy a house.
Get married.
Get married. Enroll in college. Fall in love. Get a job. Get divorced. Get married. Get pregnant. Go to school. Have children. Leave home. We have raised a family. Retire. And also we had the chance to study and discuss about this picture that is here. Today, this vocabulary that we studied yesterday is very important to understand today's reading. Today, we're going to practice reading comprehension, and also we're going to study a little bit of grammar. So the reading comprehension exercise that we're studying today is all about a man, a person that did something really, really interesting for the planet, for this world. And this person was John Francis. So today's class, we're going to talk about John Francis' life because he did something really interesting and important for the planet. So let's get started. Before starting with this class and reading about this person, I want you to look at the picture of John Francis. Look at John Francis through this picture. What is he playing? What musical instrument is he playing? Do you know the name of that musical instrument? Do you know what that musical instrument is? So that musical instrument is a banjo. Do you know what a banjo is? It's kind of like a guitar, but of course, I guess that the design, and of course, I would say the design of this musical instrument, and I think that maybe the theory to learn how to play it is different. So that's a banjo, this kind of musical instrument you see here. And also you see this guy, you know, carrying a big backpack. Why? Because maybe this person walks, I don't know, a lot. Look at the name of the reading. ¿Cómo se llama? The Planet Walker. And look at the picture. There is a relationship between the picture and the name of his reading. Okay, second question for the class. Can you tell me a catastrophe or a negative impact that maybe pollution or these kind of bad things that we are doing in the planet are affecting the animals and the plants? What kind of negative events are affecting the planet, the animals, the plants, the human beings? Can you mention some global warming problems, for example? Plastic. Remember that plastic is right now the most I would say, dangerous thing that is killing thousands and thousands and thousands of animals. And also, I was reading an article on the internet that you can find these small, tiny particles of plastic everywhere. So maybe when we breathe, we are, taking this plastic, I would say small particles inside our lungs. So plastic is a problem. Actually, they are killing whales in the ocean, whales, turtles, fish, and also you can find plastic on the top of the Everest. Can you imagine that on the top of the Everest, you can find plastic? You can find plastic everywhere. So plastic is one of the most, I would say, dangerous things and one of the most complicated things that are affecting our country, our planet these days. Does anybody here wants to say something else about this? Who wants to tell me about some environmental problems that we find in the world? Let's listen to our classmates. Let's listen to Alejandro. Alejandro, what kind of environmental problems do you see on TV or when you surf on the web or when you read books, etc.? Alejandro, I'm asking a
Sorry,
question
teacher.
to you. Tell me some environmental problems that
Environment.
are affecting the planet right now.
The pollution.
Pollution, very good. What else?
And
What happens in the Amazon? What is the big problem with the Amazon right now?
I don't know, teacher.
You should know. You should know. That's a very controversial and I would say important thing to know about the Amazon. What's happening in the Amazon, people? Hello?
They cut the trees.
Sorry?
They cut the trees.
Okay, they are cutting the trees illegally, and that is deforestation. We're having deforestation. What else?
The pollution at the sea.
The global warming.
Global warming. What else?
The pollution at the sea, teacher.
Sorry?
The pollution at the sea.
Yeah, that's right. Plastic pollution that is affecting the oceans. What else?
The overfishing.
That's excellent. We have these illegal, actually there are some illegal ships that are traveling or around some parts of Ecuador, Chile, and I think Argentina that are doing that thing, overfishing and illegally. And that's a big problem. Some people say that in the future, we won't have enough fish to eat. And that's terrible because we have...
There are fishermen who use bombs. Bombs?
Sorry?
There are some people who fish with bombs in the water.
Yeah, that's right. That's terrible. That's terrible. What else? There are more environmental problems that we can mention here.
Teacher, when they cut the arbol is dress.
deforestation. Talking about cutting trees and things, look at what I shared through the chat room. There is a problem in Colombia, and I read an article about it. The cattle industry is destroying a lot of areas that are considered to be natural wonders. Because, you know, we need these big lands to, you know, to have the cattle, el ganado. So la ganadería is also a problem because these people need these big areas. And if they need these big areas, they have to take some part of the Amazon or, I don't know, of these places where you find trees and this beautiful nature. So that's a problem, the cattle industry. And also we have hunting, the illegal hunting of animals that are producing this extinction that Dana says. That's right. So all these topics that we are talking right now, this guy whose name is John Francis, I mean, this guy had the chance to live one of these catastrophes. And of course, after living this catastrophe, talking about the environment, he changed his thoughts and also his behavior about the world in order to help the environment. So he became somebody who is against the illegal activities that kill animals and plants. He's now in favor of protecting the environment. This person is considered to be environmentally friendly. So right now we're going to read about about his life, and then we're going to answer some comprehension questions. During the reading, we are going to practice pronunciation and vocabulary words. So in this part of the class, I'm going to split the activity in two parts. Number one, you're going to listen and read. Number two, you are going to read here in the class, and of course, I'm going to check the pronunciation and the new words. After that, we are going to answer the questions in part C and D, okay? And finally, we're going to continue with the next page, that's at the end of the class, and discuss about some future plans, some possible future plans in your life, and that's basically the part of the grammar. So now let's start with this part. So listen and read.
John Francis, the Planet Walker. John Francis was born in 1946 in Philadelphia, in the United States. But in his early 20s, he left home and moved to the San Francisco area. In many ways, John's life in his new city was pretty typical. He got a job and made friends. He planned for his future. But then, 2 years after he arrived, something happened, and the event changed John's life forever. One day, there was a big oil spill that caused a lot of damage to the local environment. The spill killed hundreds of animals and polluted the water in the area terribly. John was so upset by this that he decided to stop using automobiles altogether. Instead, he started walking everywhere. When John told people he didn't ride in cars, people argued with him. John didn't like to fight, so he decided to stop talking for an entire day. One day became 2 days turned into a week, and finally, John decided to stop talking completely. After several weeks, he discovered something. He realized that he didn't always listen to people. By not talking, he started to really hear what others had to say. John remained silent for 17 years. During this time, he tried to teach others about protecting the environment. He was in the newspaper several times, and he even gave lectures at universities. Although he didn't talk, John was still able to get his message across to listeners. He explained his ideas through hand motions, paintings, and the music of his banjo. John eventually enrolled in college. He walked hundreds of kilometers to get there, and he got a degree in environmental studies. After he graduated, John continued his journey around the United States. He also traveled on foot and by boat to South America, the Caribbean, and other places around the world, trying to educate people about caring for the environment and each other. John wanted to share his story with more people, so in 1990 he started to talk again. John also started to ride in cars, but his work continued. He helped write environmental laws, worked for the United Nations as a goodwill ambassador, and started Planet Walk, an organization that helps raise awareness for environmental and humanitarian issues. He also started working with National Geographic. Today, John Francis is still trying to make the world a better place. He has written a book to inspire a new generation of planet walkers. In it, he explains how anyone can make their own walk. He also continues to teach people about the environment. The environment, he says, is not just about animals and plants. It's about how we treat each other. If we're going to make the world a better place, we need to do it for each other, not just ourselves.
Great story. Now, class, I want you to tell me why is this guy walking around many places on foot, playing his banjo and carrying this heavy backpack? Why? What happens?
He wanted to give a message to the world.
Okay, he wants to share a message to the world. What message is that?
Taking care of the planet and the environmental. Taking care of the environment and and try to make the world a better place.
Okay, he wants to make this world a better place. Why? What happened? What's the problem? What's the problem in this place that maybe we need to change certain behavior? Did John hate cars at the beginning of the story? Did he hate cars?
No, he changed his life because he saw a big water contamination.
Mm-hmm.
The oil contamination.
Uh-huh. And after that?
And a lot of animals died.
Yeah, were killed because of that oil spill, right? So, the scene you see here. The spill killed hundreds of animals and polluted the water. And what happened after that? What happened after he lived this experience? What did he decide to do? What did he decide to do, man?
He decided not to use cars anymore.
He decided not to use cars anymore, but also he did something else.
He decided
he made a second decision.
Anymore.
Sorry?
He decided not talk anymore.
He decided not to talk anymore. That's right. How long did he remain? How long did he remain silent?
17 years, I think.
Yeah, that's right. He remained silent for 17 years. Can you imagine that? Not talking to people for 17 years? That's a lot. But then what happened to him? What was his next step? What was his next stage of life? What did he do after he decided not to talk to people anymore? Did he have conferences around the world?
He decided to study.
Sorry?
He decided to study a university.
Before studying or starting college, remember that he worked, I would say, in the newspaper several times. He also gave lectures of these classes at the university. Of course, I guess that to teach people the importance of preserving the environment. But my question is, if this guy didn't talk during that time, how did he convey meaning with the students? How did he talk or teach students the message or the information that he wanted to share? What did he do?
He used the art and the music.
Sorry?
He used the art, the music, the painting.
Yeah, that's right. He used art because he had these paintings. He also had the chance to share that message through his banjo, playing songs, and also his hands, the hand motions. I guess that he was using this body language, the body language, you know, in order to express something. And after that, yeah, I agree with Carla. After that, this person enrolled in college. And my question is, did he get the degree? Did he finally get the degree in environmental issues? Did he study environmental? Yeah, it was like about. I mean, did he get a degree in environmental studies? That's the one. Did he get?
Yes.
Yes, he did, right? And what did he do after getting his degree? Did he put that diploma on the wall and that's it? Or did he do something special? Did he make a difference? What did he do?
He continued with your journey.
Sorry?
He continued with your journey.
Exactly. This guy continued with his journey. Remember that the word journey, como la travesía. It's all about this, I would say, actions that he decided to, to do in order to continue traveling down the country. And what countries did he visit after getting the degree? What countries? Did he travel to Europe?
No. He traveled to United States and to South America.
South America, that's right, South America. And what did he do there? What was the purpose?
To trying to educate people about the caring of the environment.
And each other, that's right. And after that, did he get a job? What types of jobs did he get after getting his degree?
he worked with different international institutions like United Nations, I think, and for a magazine, National Geographic.
That's right. He worked with this National Geographic organization. And something really interesting here that after 17 or 19 years, he decided to drive a car. But of course, he did something special in the United Nations. What did he do there? Did he write some important things? Of course, the answer is yes. He wrote some environmental law to protect the environment, of course, around the world. So, and finally, there is a beautiful message that this person shares with us. He says that protecting the environment is not only, or it doesn't mean that protecting the environment is not all about taking care of animals and protecting the animals and plants, but also protecting the environment means that you as a person are going to learn how to, I would say, how to take care of the other people that are around you. So it's very important not only to protect the environment like plants and animals, but if you want to protect the environment, you need to know, or you need to learn how to treat people, how to treat your neighbors, how to treat your family members, how to treat your teachers, how to treat all human beings around the world. In other words, the key to success in this part is all about getting this knowledge that we could call it education. When you educate, when you have these big changes in your mind, because after studying at the university and doing different activities, your mind starts to change, and you start to get knowledge that not only changes, I would say, your behavior, but also this knowledge helps your loved ones, your neighbors, or the people who are around you. So to sum up, to protect the environment basically means to protect your partner, to protect the people who are around you. In other words, to treat each other like the way it has to be. Being a good citizen basically means to be a good neighbor. It basically means not to fight, not to argue with people. It's the opposite. It's to be with this good relationship in order to have a better place. And I agree with him, because here in Colombia, for example, in this country we need to invest, well, the government needs to invest more money on education. Why? Because that, for example, how difficult it is for people who want to study medicine to have a place or to get this opportunity in a public university. For example, at Cartagena University, it's very difficult for people who want to be doctors to pass and start his studies. So the amount of people who have access to public university is small. There are just a very few people who can have access to public universities. So I think that the government should invest more money on this, and of course have more like open new doors, give more opportunities for these students to present the exam, and of course get I would say the chance to study there. And if we educate, if we read, if we study every day, maybe our mind, our behavior could be affected, positive speaking, and of course you're going to be a better citizen. Entonces, si quieres cambiar el medio ambiente, protegerlo, comienza tratando bien a tu prójimo, educándote y haciendo las cosas correctas. Y después sí vendrá lo demás por añadidura, que sería proteger el medio ambiente and also the animals. Excellent. This is the part number 1 of the class. Right now it's 5:04 p.m. and we're going to continue practicing reading and pronunciation. That's why I would like to ask to this class politely if there is a person who wants to read or who wants to start this first paragraph. Who wants to read the first paragraph?
Me.
Let me see the list of participants. Andres, right? You said me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Andres, read paragraph number 1, please.
John Francis was born in 1946 in Philadelphia.
Okay, wait a minute.
In the United.
Remember, Andres, that when you are talking about the years, the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, and so forth, imagine that you have to split the number in 2 parts. So split
1946.
the year in 2 parts. The first one could be 19, and another
46.
one is 43. And then put together
46,
1946.
John Francis was born in 1946 in Philadelphia, in the United States, but in his early 20s he left home and moved to San Francisco area. In many ways, John's life in his new city was pretty typical. He got a job and made friends. He planned for his future. But then, 2 years after arrived, something happened, and the event changed John's life forever. One day, there was a big oil spill that caused a lot of damage to local environment. The spill killed hundreds of animals and polluted the water in the area terribly. John was so upset by this that decided to stop using automobiles altogether. Instead, he started walking everywhere. I finished. Teacher, are you
Oh my
there?
God, I was talking. Estaba hablando con el micrófono apagado. Okay, thank you very much for your reading. I said that thank you very much for your reading, for your cooperation and participation. And now my question is, who wants to continue reading the second paragraph? Remember that this is the perfect time to practice your reading skills and also your pronunciation.
Me, teacher.
Okay, Dana Noriega, that's right. Go ahead.
John's life in his new city was pretty tropical. He got a job and made friends. He planned for this future, but then 2 years after he arrived, something happened, and the event changed John's life forever. One day, there was a big oil spill that caused a lot of damage of the local environment. The spill killed hundreds of animals and polluted the water in the area terribly. Jones was so upset by this and decided to stop using automobiles altogether. Instead, he started to walking everywhere.
Continue reading because that part was written. Sorry, this part that, what I mean, I'm coughing.
Oh,
Continue reading because that part was read by Andres. So continue with this
I
one.
I confused. Um, when John told people he didn't write in cards, people are, how can I say this, teacher?
Argued.
Argued with him. John didn't like to fight, so he decided to stop talking for an entire day. One day became two days turned into a week, and finally John decided to stop talking completely. After several weeks, he discovered something. He realized that he didn't always listen to people. By not talking, he started to really hear what others had to say.
Great. Something really interesting about the two students who are reading in the class is that in this paragraph, we have some important sentences that are going to be useful in our today's class. And the first sentence that our classmates were reading was the one I'm going to share right now. This one. 2 years after he arrived, comma, something happened. And number two, is this part. After several weeks, he discovered something. He realized that he didn't always listen to people. So now, who wants to continue reading the third one, the third
Your
paragraph?
teacher.
Me, teacher.
Me teacher.
Who's talking, Alejandro? Yes,
Yes,
Alejandro,
teacher.
and then Laura. Laura can continue with the next one. So let's get started.
Uh, John remained silent for 70 years. During this time, he tried to teach other people about protecting the environment. He was in the newspaper several times, and he even gave lectures at universities, although he didn't talk. John was still able to get his message across to listeners. He explained his ideas through hand motions, paintings, and the music of his
Banjo.
teacher. How to say that?
Banjo.
Banjo. Banjo.
That's right. Remember that this banjo is this, it's kind of like a guitar, but the design is different. Very good. Who wants to continue reading? Is there a volunteer? Okay, yeah, Laura. Galaxy. Laura, what's your last name? Vamos aquí a cambiar enseguida. Last name?
González.
Laura
González.
G. Laura G. Muy bien, ahora sí. Go ahead.
John eventually enrolled in college. He walked hundreds of kilometers to get there.
and he got a degree in environment studies. After he graduated, John continued his touring around the United States. He holds food and Bible to South America, the Caribbean, and other places around the world, trying to educate people about caring for the environment and each other.
Excellent. Trying to educate people about caring for the environment and each other. Excellent. Good job. Next, who wants to continue with the next paragraph? Remember that the person who's going to read right now is going to read until the word National Geographic. So, who wants to read? Who wants to continue?
Me, teacher.
Okay, thank you, Carla. Go ahead.
Okay. John wanted to share his story with more people. So, in 1990, he started to talk again. John also started to write in cars, but his work continued. He helped write environmental laws, worked for the United Nations as a Goodwill ambassador, and started Planet Walk, an organization that helps raise awareness for environmental and humanitarian issues. He also started working with National Geographic.
Excellent. And finally, the last paragraph. Who wants to read the last paragraph?
Me, teacher.
Okay, Maria Clara, go ahead.
And me, teacher. Today, John
Sorry?
Francis.
Okay, continue, Maria Clara.
Okay. Today, John Francis is still trying to make the world a better place. He has written a book to inspire a new generation of planet workers. In it, he explains how anyone can make their own work. He also continues to teach people about the environment.
Environment.
The environment, he says, is not just about animals and plants. It's about how we treat each other. If we're going to make the world a better place, we need to do it for each other, not just ourselves.
Not just ourselves. That's right. This is one of the most beautiful things I have ever heard before. And I'm going to repeat it. Protecting the environment is not just all about protecting the animals and plants. It is also all about how we treat each other. So remember that if we want to make a difference in this world, we need to change our habits. We need to be better people and treat, as I said before, your neighbors, your family members, teachers, everybody properly. Treat them right without any, I would say, lack of respect. It's very important to do that, and then I think that this world would be different. Also, I have always said that the internet, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I'm talking about social networking sites, are also a good tool to change the world. Because, for example, what happened if influencers or Instagrammers would share more information about protecting the environment, about protecting the Amazon right now? I think that a lot of people, thousands and thousands of people, would be more environmentally friendly and conscious about that problem and do something for it. Don't you think? Don't you agree with me?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah, we have to protect the Amazon. The Amazon is endangered right now. The cattle industry, illegal deforestation, uh, people who are hunting animals, as you said before, and a lot of terrible things that are not good for our planet are happening there, and that's bad.
Teacher, why do you underline the phrases in the first paragraph?
Yeah, actually, I underlined those phrases because they are going to be necessary for the grammar I'm going to explain today. And now, let's see, as my friend said, the underlined sentences. What do they have in common? They have the word after. Can you find another word in the paragraph where you see after? And the answer is here. After he graduated, John continued his journey around the world. Sorry, the United States. So if you see after, there is something that joins that word. What joins that phrase?
A word in past.
A word in the past, that's right. So you see a subject plus a verb. When we have these words like after, before, when, and also if, and after these words, you find at least a subject plus a verb, we can say that these are called time clauses. So they are examples of time clauses. And what are time clauses? Time clauses are these group of words that at least has a subject plus a verb. Let me give you some examples. After, remember the rule I taught you last classes. If I want to add a verb after a preposition, what happens to the verb? Do you remember that lesson in which there are some verbs like think about, interested in, be interested in, think about? The preposition of these words are about and in. If I add a verb after about and in, what is the verb conjugation after the preposition? Hello? ¿Qué pasa con un verbo? Si lo coloco después de una preposición, what happens?
Has to be in gerund.
You have to add a verb in gerund. That's perfect. So now look at this. After getting my degree. Now, if I want to use a clause, I have to add at least a subject. The subject is going to be like this. After I get, ahora sí es una cláusula. After I get my degree, so this is a time clause because after this word, you see a subject and a verb. And then you have the complement. So, comma. After I get my degree, what are your plans? If you are not 100% sure about it, you can use might. You can use may. Or you can use could. And then a verb-based form. After I get my degree, I might, may, or could travel to Canada. So friends, as you can see here, we can see that we have a time clause. And what is the time clause? After I get my degree. What happens after that? I may, I might, or I could travel to Canada. This sentence means that the person that says this is less than 100% sure about that.
Teacher, I can put going to.
Sorry?
I don't know. After I get my degree, I'm going to travel to Canada?
Sure, you can do it. And that's what I'm going to explain now. Excellent participation, Carla. Congratulations. That's right. You can also say that, but there is a difference in meaning. What is the difference? The difference is that if I use like this, after I get my degree, I am going to travel to Canada. It basically means that the person is sure about it, okay? Esa es la diferencia. Significa que esta persona is sure about it. But if you use might, may, or could, this person is not 100% sure about it. Maybe there is a possibility that this event could happen. So with may, with might, may, and could, they basically are talking about possibilities. When I say possibility, is that the person who expresses this feeling is 80, 70, 60, 30% sure about it. But when I use going to, it's the opposite. This person has this plan. That's his intention. And of course, is 100% sure about it. Okay? That's the difference. Do you understand?
Yes, teacher.
Excellent. Entonces, esa es la respuesta al interrogante del compañero. Why, teacher, did you underline the sentences? It's basically because after having the discussion about this reading, we are going to study and talk about the use of modals to talk about future possibility. So let's finish with this reading, my friends. Let's do the activity. Right now, I'm going to create the breakout rooms because it's time to practice. It's time to participate and work with your classmates. And the activity you are doing right now is to discuss and answer the following questions. The questions that are here in part C and on part D. So I'm going to create the breakout rooms. You're going to work with your classmates and do part C and part D. After getting the answers, we will be back here in the class and discuss the answers in public. So let's get started. Let me create the breakout rooms. 1 minute. You're gonna work in group of three, and there is a group that is gonna work in pairs. So let's get started. Before starting, if you don't have your book yet, or you don't have your book because you're using a phone or whatever, you can take a screenshot of this, share with your group, and practice the possible answers. So take a screenshot. Muy bien, that's excellent. Now I'm going to open the rooms to start the discussion.
Of using cars.
Okay, let me help you with the screen, and you can work in groups and discuss the questions. Now, start, please. I listen to you. Hello? Alejandro?
Yes, teacher, estoy
Daniel?
mirando. Estoy buscando el respuesta.
Carlos and Daniel, please.
Yes, teacher, le voy a tomar una foto. Hola.
That's okay.
He didn't. Green in car. People are good with he. John did it like to feel. Ese
That's
pedacito.
the number 2. The number 1, he stopped using cars because in the beginning of the text says that 2 years after he arrived, something happened, and the events changed John's life forever. One day there was a big oil spill that caused a lot of damage to the local environment, and the spill killed hundreds of animals and polluted the water in the area. For this reason, he stopped driving.
¿Dónde estamos? Ahora, ¿dónde estamos? Ahorita se fueron a la luz de.
It's time to socialize the answers here in public. So let's start with number one. After having the discussion in your groups, it's time to start here. So number one says, why did John stop using cars? What is the answer for that one? Why did John stop using cars? What is the
Me,
answer, Carla?
teacher.
Who wants to participate? Yes?
And the answer.
What is the answer for number one? Why did John stop using cars?
Because
Me,
the
teacher.
people argued with him.
Yeah, because he experienced the damage that was caused in this environment long time ago. Now, number two, why did he stop talking? Why did he stop talking?
Because he didn't like to argue with people.
Yeah, because he didn't like to interact with people, especially the moment that he realized that he didn't always listen to people. So during that moment, by not talking was a good way, to stop or to avoid hearing other people. So what did John learn by not talking? What did he teach people? What about three? I repeat, what did John learn by not talking? What did he teach people? Hello? What did John learn by not talking? What did he teach people? What is the answer, Laura? Laura G. Laura G, unmute your microphone and tell me the answer for three. Laura G, can you hear me?
Teacher, can I answer this?
Answer, which one?
Teacher,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay. I don't know. I think that is John try to learn to other people about the protecting to the environment.
Maybe he learned how to express his feelings or his message in different ways. For example, using these paintings and motions and the music of his banjo in order to express his thoughts.
And
And
he
what did he
learned to
teach?
listen,
Yeah, what
listen
did
to
he
other
teach?
people.
What did he teach people? He taught them.
Okay, I'm confused, teacher.
Sorry?
I'm confused to the question.
Okay, what did he teach people? He taught them to protect the environment. How to protect the environment. That's basically the thing. And four, what places did John visit and how did he get to them? If you look at here in the paragraph, you will find the answer. So what places did he go or did he
United
visit?
States and South American
South
South America
On the Caribbean.
and the Caribbean.
Yeah, that's right. And also, but what they, how did he get to them? So the answer is on foot. Oh my God, that man was crazy.
and
He
he buy
traveled
a
on
boat.
foot, by boat to South America, by boat and on foot, I guess, through the United States. And why did John start talking again? What was the reason that he started talking again? Why did he start talking again?
He is trying to
Because he,
educate people about caring for environment.
Sorry?
because he wants to share his story with more people.
Exactly. And finally, what things did he do after started talking again? What fun things did he do? He started to ride cars. He also helped write environmental laws in the United Nations.
um, ambassador and study and plan well.
Exactly, that's right. And that was basically, my friends, this part of the task C. Now let's finish with D. The discussion with the class is, do you think that John's work has helped the environment? Yes or no? And why? I want to listen to you. Do you think John's work has helped the environment? What do you think, Alejandro? What is your opinion about it?
Yes, teacher.
Why?
Because John stopped using car and uh, he protect the environment.
Yeah, because maybe he has taught many people about different ways to protect the environment, and these people are practicing these excellent actions, and you can see the results in the environment. That's good.
because he create conscience in other people.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I said before, if we had more influencers, Instagrammers that would share more information, or maybe they would teach people how to protect the environment, things would be better because of the power that these people have to share information with people. So I think that they could make a big difference among people. Finally, have you ever experienced a life-changing event? What happened and how did the event change your life? Nobody wants to say something? Hello? Okay, let's do something. Think about this answer at home, and tomorrow I will ask you again because we don't have enough time. Right now, we're going to continue with the part I was introducing before, and it's the grammar. The grammar that we are studying is all about expressing future possibility with the modals may, might, and could. For this activity, let's remember the vocabulary we studied yesterday and the beginning of this class about the important events, life events that we have. What life events are you living right now? For example, I'm about to finish my major. Estoy casi terminando mi carrera, o sea, mis estudios universitarios. Or maybe I'm oh my God, what happened here? I'm studying English. This is a very important thing. I'm studying English. My wife and I are having these are examples of life events. So which one are you living right now? ¿Cuántos están terminando la carrera universitaria? How many here in the class are about to get the degree?
Me, teacher.
Okay, that's perfect. Now look at the example I'm going to use with the models of future possibility. At the beginning of the class or during the class, I said that you can use some clauses after the words. I know that it sounds redundant, but we have these words after, when, before, if, when we're talking about conditionals. But let's use these ones. After to talk about future and when to talk about future. So I can say that using the word after, if I want to use a time clause, remember that a clause at least has a subject and a verb. What is the subject here? The person who does the action. So after Gloria finishes her studies or her major, now if she's not 100% sure about the event, about the future event, you just remember may, you use might, or you can use could. What happens here? And could. All of them are similar here because they express a future event that is not 100% sure. After Gloria finishes her major, she may, might, or could work abroad. Remember that work abroad es trabajar en otro país. But of course, in this sentence, it means that she is maybe 80, 70, 50, or even less sure that this event will happen, or, you know, it's gonna be sure. So it's all about possibility. Understood? Remember that after may, might, and could, the verb goes base form. Now, the trick about this lesson is that you can use the modals may, might, and could in affirmative statements to talk about future possibility. But with negative, to talk about future possibility, the only two models that are useful or necessary to use are may or might. Could in negative is grammatically incorrect. You only use could when we're talking about future possibility in affirmative statements. The only ones that you can use in affirmative or negative are may or might. ¿Entendido?
Yes, teacher.
Muy bien. What about next year? ¿Cuáles son los planes para el otro año? What about next year? What about the next year? What about next year? Si no estás seguro sobre los planes para el otro año, you are not sure, puedes usar los modales aquellos. Teacher, I might study French. I may go to Canada. Or I could travel to Medellín. Negativos. Puedes decir, por ejemplo, lo siguiente. I might not study French. Or I may not go to Canada. Pero no es posible decir, sería incorrecto decir, I couldn't travel to Medellín, or I could not study French, because could is only possible in affirmative, but not in negative, okay? Also, something important about this topic is that you can use the modals to talk about future possibility with yes, no questions. Now I'm going to show you the grammar chart, the grammar video. We will finish with that. I tell you the homework, and then we will finish classes. So let's get started. Listen and read.
Modals of future possibility. Use may, might, or could to talk about future possibility.
Class may end early tomorrow. Class might end early tomorrow. Class could end early tomorrow.
Also use may, might, or could to answer questions about the future.
Is he going to lose his job?
He might. It depends.
Will you be home by 8 tonight?
I may. I'm not really sure. To answer in the negative, use may or might, but not could.
Are you going to attend the party?
I may not. I'm not feeling well.
That's the grammar chart. Remember, if you are certain about something, use going to or will. depending on the thing you're going to say. Now, en el grupo compartí la imagen esta como tarea que van a hacer as homework. As homework, I want you to complete the grammar exercises that are on page 196, all about lesson B. The exercises start here and the exercises finish in this part. So I'm gonna do A and B on the pages 196 and part of 197. That's going to be the homework for tomorrow. Okay? And my friends, that's all for today. Thank you for being here and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Teacher, I have a question, teacher.
Yes, what's your question?
Teacher, estas actividades se encuentran en la plataforma.
Sí, en tu ebook, en el ebook. ¿Ya estás usando el ebook?
Sí, pero o sea, ¿yo cómo ubico cuál es la que tengo que hacer?
Bueno, entonces vamos a aprovechar aquí que ya terminamos clase. Puedes compartir pantalla.
Sí, pero un momento.
Comparte y miramos ahí.
¿Ya la puede ver?
Sí, dale un momentico atrás. O ves para arriba, go back. Ves donde dice bienvenido.
Aquí.
No, sí, dale un momentico, pero una cosa. No, entonces acá donde dice Alfredo Arnedo. Ahí, dale clic. My Word Link Online, Level 3. Dale ahí, welcome Dana Michelle. Ah, no, pero dice My Word Link Online. Acá ven la cosita esa. Ahí, dale ahí clic.
Teacher, acuérdese que primero tienen que hacer el quiz ese para que lo dejen entrar al...
Sí, eso es lo que le iba a explicar. Para que te salga aquí, esta parte, primero tienes que hacer un ejercicio. ¿Y cuál es el ejercicio, amigo? Es el quiz que está ahí, ¿verdad? ¿Cierto, compañero?
O sea que yo tengo que hacer esos 23 ejercicios para poder ingresar
al ebook, sí. Haces esa parte completa y te sale ahí enseguida la herramienta. Ahora quiero que te vayas un momentico atrás nuevamente. Quiero observar algo. Dale donde dice currículum.
Esta fue la que yo le comenté que yo la estaba haciendo, pero me demoraba un buen rato en cargar y no me la dejaba enviar. Pero no la...
Cierra eso. Tú leíste como autoestudio, ¿ok?
No.
Tú ingresaste en mi código, ¿no? Sí, claro. Entonces ya puedes hacer las lecciones. De pronto es el internet. Ya no está cargando el internet. Pero ya tienes todo listo. Dejar los pasos que te he dicho y comienzas a hacer el libro, ¿viste?
Ok, teacher. Gracias.
Muy bien. Entonces, that's all. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Have a nice evening. And see you tomorrow.
Bye, teacher.